Hello there, Year 3. It's Mrs. Collins here with Wednesday's math lesson. Please pause the screen and give yourself time to write today's short date and learning objective into your home learning maths book. Today we'll be learning to divide by 2. Press play when you're ready to start. On the board, you'll see the Speedy Times Table challenge to get your brains warmed up this morning. You've got a times table grid in your home learning packs to help you if you need support. Please pause the video, have a go at as many as you can, give yourself 2 minutes and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Well done. I hope you've just pressed play because you've had a go at as many of these as you possibly can. Mark them as I read out the answers. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 6 times 2 is 12. 11 times 2 is 22. 7 times 5 is 35. 12 times 5 is 60. Hot challenge. 2 divided by 2 is 6. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Well done to those children who really pushed themselves and had to go at all of those. Super effort. Right, let's move on. Skills Sharp today asks us to recap on our knowledge of the 2 times table. This question asks us to circle the multiples of 2. Multiples of 2 are all of those numbers that come up in the 2 times table. Let's chant in our 2's together and circle any numbers as they appear on the board. Count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Great work. So 24, 6, 10, 4 and 20 are all multiples of 2 because they're in the 2 times table. 5 and 15 are not multiples of 2 because they're not in the 2 times table. Moving on from that, here is an array of groups of 2. How many groups are there altogether? I'm going to use my pencil or crayon to group them. Could you help me? 1 group of 2, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2. How could we write this as a calculation? Well, we know there are 5 groups of 2, so it's 5 times 2. And how many are there altogether? Let's count in 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 times 2 equals 10. Now these examples are going to help you with your activity. On the screen you will see 2 chili challenges, mild and spicy. Could you spot the multiples of 2 that are listed and write them in your home learning maths book? And have a go at drawing the counters as an array and grouping them into groups of 2. Could you challenge yourself and write this as a calculation? Pause the video, have a go and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Well done, Year 3. Let's have a look at the mild answers together. Which numbers are multiples of 2? Well, 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. Give yourself a mark if you wrote those answers in your book. Let's have a look at the array. How many groups of 2 are there? 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. There are 4 lots of 2. How many is that all together? 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times 2 equals 8. Well done if you got that right. Let's have a look at the spicy challenge. What multiples of 2 have we got? Well, we know 7 times 2 is 14. 10 times 2 is 20. 6 times 2 is 12. 8 times 2 is 16. 11 times 2 is 22. Well done. Let's have a look at the array. How many groups of 2 are there? Count them with me. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5, 6 groups, 7 groups. What's the array showing us? Well, we know we've got 7 groups of 2. How many is that all together? Let's count them up in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 7 times 2 equals 14. Well done if you gave that your best shot. Let's move on. Today's new learning will involve us dividing numbers and amounts into equal groups, mainly dividing by 2. Let's have a look at this question together. The children are playing a game. They need to go into 2 equal teams. How many teams will they each be in? I'm going to underline the number 2 to remind us that we are sharing these children into 2 teams. In your maths book, could you draw 2 circles to help you to do that? I'm going to use counters to separate the children into teams, but don't worry if you don't have counters. You can just draw the circles or dots into the 2 groups. First, let's count how many children we've got all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to write that down so we don't forget. We're using a process called sharing to share the 8 children into 2 groups. Do it with me by drawing the circles or dots in your book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all that we need because there are 8 children. We've shared them equally into 2 groups. What does this representation show us? Well, we started with 8 children. We've divided it. We've shared them into 2 teams. How many are in each team? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 children in each team, and we worked that out by sharing the counters. Let's look at a different way to do a division problem. We've got the children again, and they're playing a game, but this time they need to get into 2s. How many pairs will there be? So instead of using the sharing method, this time we're using the grouping method, and we can write on the sheet to do that. So let's group these children into pairs. Count with me. 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs. So what is this picture and these groups now telling us? Could you write the calculation in your book? Pause the video and press play to see if you're right. So the picture is showing us 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups, and in each group there are 2 children. So it's showing us 4 times 2. How many children are there all together? 2, 4, 6, 8. Showing us 8. It's also showing us a divide, isn't it? Because we started with 8 children at the start, and we've divided them now into 4 groups. How many children are in each group? 2. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So this is a different way of sorting out a division problem using a grouping method. We've found out that there will be 2 children in each group, and there will be 4 pairs altogether. Let's move on. In this question, we've got 12 flowers, and the flowers are to be shared equally into 2 pots. So again, in your maths book, could you draw those 2 circles and get ready to draw your dots or flowers or circles to represent the flowers in each pot. Let's share them equally together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because there were 12 flowers altogether. So we started with 12 flowers, you can write this down with me, and we've divided the flowers into 2 pots. How many flowers will there be now in one pot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 flowers. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. We've worked that out using the sharing method. What would happen if there were 13 flowers instead of 12? Draw your circles again and let's share 13 flowers out now between the 2 pots and we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13's an odd number, isn't it? So we've got 1 left over. I can't put that into one of the pots because then they won't be equal. So if we divide 13 by 2, the answer is 6, but with a remainder, there's 1 left over. So far we've looked at dividing using sharing and grouping methods. Now let's have a look at dividing using a number line. Write this question in your book and use your ruler to draw the number line. Pause the video and press play when you're ready to use the number line with me. Okay, the question says 16 divided by 2. So I've got a number line going in intervals of 1 up to 16. We're going to start from 16. I'm going to divide it by 2 by jumping in intervals of 2. Count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. How many 2's did we jump? Let's count the jumps we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. Well done if you did that along with me. Now we've had a practice at dividing using sharing, grouping and a number line. You've got an independent task in your learning pack to get busy with this morning. You'll see our normal chili challenge and some challenges on the other side to work through. All of the questions are asking you to divide, so you can use the grouping method, you can draw the circles and do the sharing method, or you might want to choose to use a number line. You choose whichever method you want and write your answers neatly in your maths book using the squares to help you. If you have any questions, don't forget to email us at your year group email address. We'll see you tomorrow for more maths. Have fun!